this is a fiqh question which I've asked the Shaykh Jazakallahu Khairan to help me with this. And the Shaykh, basically, the question is that there was a masjid which has been built recently, and this masjid had a basically mihrab, the mihrab where the imam is being prayed. And there was an image has been sent to me, so I want the Shaykh to elaborate into this mihrab. Is this from the Sunnah or not? It's a very important question. So I would like the Shaykh to go ahead, and I will show him the mihrab first. Al-mihrab, هذا هو. This is the mihrab that everybody can see, which is supposed to be a mihrab for the people or who are praying in a Sunni masjid, and even not, I would say, Sunni masjid, a Salafi masjid. Okay, so is this acceptable? I'm going to get it closer for you. This is what you could see it here on the top. There is La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. In the verse of Ayatul Kursi, there is here in the middle. Okay, now basically, before you answer this question, this is the mihrab. Can you see it, Shaykh Ziyad? Huh? You could see it. Huh? بتشوفوا Shaykh Ziyad. شايفه طيب. This mihrab actually had now been taken away the verse, but still like this now. So this is the هذا الآن حدث لهذا الشيء. الكلمة هي فوق لا إله إلا الله, and the verse of Ayatul Kursi has been removed. So is it still okay to do this, and what is the Islam stance regarding this? ما هو موقف الإسلام من هذا المحراب بهذا الشكل؟ طبعا أزيلت الآن بعد الحمد لله توجيهات شوية على أزيلت اللي هي آية الكرسي، لكن ما زال هذه الزركشة والزخرفة. فتوجيهاتكم شيخنا. I want you to elaborate, شيخنا جزاكم الله خيرا. Please Aqi, take notes as I'm going to be preparing for something else.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. بادئ ذي بدء مسألة المحراب كلغة، كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا. المفسرون يقولون المحراب هو مكان الصلاة. كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب أي على مريم، المحراب هو المكان الذي يعد للصلاة، وكانت مريم تتعبد الله سبحانه وتعالى في هذا المكان فسمي محرابا. لا يعرف في العهد النبوي ولا في العهد الصحابة وجود مثل هذه التجويفات. وحينما بني مسجد الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم لم يوضع فيه هذا التجويف، وكذلك في عهد الصحابة. أول ما نشأ وظهر مثل هذا المحراب نشأ بعد حوالي 200 سنة من العهد النبوي، ثم اتخذ ذلك أشكالا متنوعة. العلماء هنا اختلفوا صراحة. كان شيخنا رحمه الله يقول ببدعية ذلك. بعض العلماء وبعض المشايخ يقولون إذا لم يكن متكلفا ولم يكن فيه زخارف ولم يكن فيه مثل هذا الذي نراه فلا مانع كأصل محراب. هذا كلام الشيخ ابن باز والشيخ ابن عثيمين، حتى أكون ناقل للفتوى. الآن هنا فيه إشكالات. لو تجاوزنا إشكال المحراب وقلنا حتى بجواز المحراب، لكن هذه الزخارف التي نراها وتلفت النظر حتى الذي وضعناها مكان الآية أيضا تلفت أكثر من الآية. وأذكر في ذلك عدة أحاديث، منها حديث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إذا زوقتم مصاحفكم وزخرفتم مساجدكم فالدمار عليكم. فالدمار عليكم. حينما يصبح اهتمام الناس في قضية الزخرفة وما يلفت الانتباه. أنا قرأت كلام مشايخنا كالشيخ ابن عثيمين أيضا والشيخ ابن باز وغيرهم، قالوا الزخرفة تنقسم إلى قسمين: زخرفة عادية كحسن البناء وزخرفة فيها تكلف كهذا التكلف تلفت الانتباه. وشبهوا ذلك بتلك الصلاة المصلى، يعني السجادة التي أهديت للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وكانت عليها زخارف، فصلى عليها النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام، ثم بعد الصلاة أمسكها قال: خذوها عني فإنها ألهتني عن صلاة الآن. آنفا. ألهتني، فإذا كانت ألهت سيد من خشع وهو رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، أفلا هذه الزخارف وهذه حقيقة التي نخشى أن يكون فيها تشبه بغير المسلمين كما تصنع النصارى ويصنع اليهود في معابدهم، أن نكون متشبهين بهذه الزخرفة؟ فلذلك نقول الأسلم والأحوط والأحسن والأكمل في هذا المسجد أن يجتنب هذا الأمر. وبهذه الزخرفة ما أظن أحدا من العلماء الذين ذكرتهم يبيح هذه الأشكال، لأنها قطعا ستلهي المصلي. فإذا ألهت سيد من خشع فكيف نحن ضعاف في قوتنا في خشوعنا، وأول ما يرفع من أمة الخشوع حتى لا تكاد ترى خاشعا. فلذلك يعني هذا الذي أميل له في هذه المسألة، والله أعلم.
تفضل يا عقيل.
Barakallahu feekum, Shaykhana. As relates to the matter of the mihrab, the prayer niche, I will translate it as the niche. Linguistically, we see this term coming in the Quran where Allah says that which means every time Zakaria entered the prayer niche or the prayer area, he found that she had, i.e. Maryam had with her, she had food with her. So linguistically, this mihrab, what it means is actually the place which is prepared, the area which is prepared for the prayer. So we do not see that the niche, this construct that was shown by Shaykh Abu Suhaib, we do not see that anything of its like was built or established at the time of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, nor at the time of the companions.
Don't call me Shaykh in front of the Sheikhs, okay? Please.
It was something that was constructed around 200 years after the death of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, in various different manifestations, forms and fashions. And our Shaykh, Shaykh Al-Albani, may Allah have mercy upon him, he used to have the opinion that this type of construct was an innovation. Some of the other scholars, like Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen and Shaykh bin Baz, they said, and they were of the opinion that this construct in and of itself, there is no problem in it, except if there is excess, if they are ordained and decorated as per the picture that has been shown. So the picture, the like of the picture that's shown, this is something, even with those who accept it, they say this is the likeness of what was shown is not permissible and is not something which is to be done. And even if we were to think beyond this, the ordainment of this, it's something which is distracting, and it takes away and it distracts us from the prayer. And the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he mentioned also that with this ordainment and with this fancy decorating, he mentioned that indeed when your mushafs are ornate and beautified and your masajid are extravagant, then know that destruction is upon you. And from this,
masjid have been decorated. If your masahib is to be decorated and your masjid being beautified, so that means decoration of the masjid, then await for destruction. تفضل يا شيخ.
حفظكم الله.
طبعا أنا حتى بس دقيقة هنا، بس حتى أوجه بس هذا الحديث، وهو إذا أصبح اهتمام الناس في ظواهر الأمور عن باطنها، هذا هو الدمار. هذا هو مقصود الحديث. لما يصبح اهتمام الناس بالمظاهر دون، يعني مسجد كبير يتسع ل1000 لا يصلي فيه إلا 2 وهو مزخرف، هذا هو المقصود من هذا الحديث.
حفظكم الله أحسن الله عز وجل إليكم شيخنا. And the intent behind this hadith is the fact that the Muslims, when the Muslims, they give importance and they stress importance to the exterior of matters and not the interior and the reality of what goes behind those exteriors, then destruction is upon them. So for example, they will look to construct a masjid which is extravagant and which houses 1,000 people, but the reality is only 2 people attend. This is paying attention to the exterior rather than the interior and the matters that drive them. As relates to the ordainment and the decoration, we look to the fatwa of Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen and Shaykh bin Baz, and we found that they have said that this beauty or this decoration is of two sorts. The first is a sort that's a kind of normal type of decoration, without which the building would be unseemly or perhaps unkempt or not usable. The second is
which is like building-wise, called binaiya. Building-wise, like you put the brick into the brick, you always put the bricks in level with the other brick and all of this. This is the natural one. So the bricks lining up on all of this, that's a natural decoration. Further.
The second is a type of decoration which is excess and it's over the top. And it's a type of decorating which serves no purpose other than it leads to the distraction of eyes and the distraction of people during the prayer. And an example of this distraction can be found in the hadith of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, where he had a sajjada, he had a prayer rug that was decorated and it was ornate. And he prayed, he offered his prayer, and then afterwards he said, "Take this away from me, for indeed it distracted me while I was in my prayer." And who is this? This is the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. This is the Sayyid, the leader, and he who was the most complete in their khushu', in their intent, in their attentiveness in the prayer. And this was something which distracted him. So what do we say about ourselves? Even with this, even with the removal of the ayat and some of the things that they removed as relates to this specific mihrab, we can still say that it's distracting. It's maybe even more distracting in some ways. And on top of this, we fear that with the construct of such constructions within the masjid, we fear that we are falling into imitating the non-Muslims in their buildings and in their beautifying of their places of worship. So what is safer and better and more complete is that we avoid building such constructs within our masjid. And I would not think, looking at this picture, even those mashayikh who say that the mihrab is something which is permissible, I would not think that they would deem one of this nature built in this way as something which is permissible. And as I have said, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he became distracted in his prayer due to an ornate rug, and he was the Sayyid, he was the most complete in their attentiveness of in the prayer. And also the first thing to be lifted from this ummah, from this nation, is its attentiveness within the prayer. بارك الله فيكم شيخنا.
بس معلش قبل ما انتهي السؤال، هناك الان ما زالت كلمه لا اله الا الله محمد رسول الله، ماذا ترون في هذه وضع الكلمه هذه؟ The question is regarding the كلمه, the shahada on top of the mihrab. What do you think of that? هذا عجاله شيخنا الله يبارك فيك.
اتكلم؟ تفضل شيخ دكتور باسم اذا عندك شيء تفضل.
الله يبارك فيك. كمل.
تفضلوا.
تفضل الله يبارك.
نفس الإشكال، يعني احنا نقول الأصل أنه هذه الأمور ينظر هل كانت تصنع في العهود العظيمة التي كان الحرص فيها على ذات الفعل لا على مظاهره. قطعا لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله أعظم كلمة وأجمل كلمة، وهي عليها نحيا وعليها نموت، لكن هل هذا موضعها؟ هل هذا مكانها؟ هل الصحابة والتابعون كانوا يفعلونها ويضعونها هنا؟ في ظني أنه ليس هذا المكان. وقطعا أنا لما أصلي وأنظر ستلفت انتباهي، والناس يعني حقيقة خشوعهم ضعيف بدون إشكالات وبدون مثل هذه التشويشات. فكيف مع هذه الزخارف وهذه الكلمات التي قد تضيع وللأسف تضيع الخشوع، والأصل ألا يبقى ولا تبقى والله أعلم على عظمها، لكن هذا ليس كما قال هذا ليس مكانها والله أعلم.
الله خيرا. تفضل يا عقيل وأسرع في الترجمة.
As relates to specifically this word La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah being put above the mihrab, then we would ask this question: was this something which was done at the time of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and in the time of the favored or the best generations? Without any shadow of a doubt, this is the best word, and it's the loftiest of the words. It's a word by which we live and by which we die. However, is this the place for it? Is this the place the Sahaba put it? Is it the place where the Tabi'een put it? So I would think that were I to pray near this, it would distract me in my prayer. And the people are, they find it difficult enough to concentrate and focus and be attentive in the prayer without such distractions. So my feeling and my advice would be to take this out. And this is despite the loftiness and the greatness of this word.
جزاك الله خيرا. وبالمناسبة حتى أذكر للإخوة كذلك أنه مسجد الشيخ زياد والذي أنا صليت فيه لا يوجد فيه محرابا، لا يوجد فيه محراب، أليس كذلك؟ الله يبارك فيكم. طيب. I'm just going to add as well the Sheikh, he leads people in the masjid, and he has as well the sunnah that he's got his masjid, he's got no mihrab. It's just a wall, plain wall. في عندك كمان شباك يدل على القبلة، أليس كذا ولا فقط
نعم.
نعم.
صحيح.
Indicating where is the qibla.
وهذا كان تحت إشراف شيخنا الألباني رحمه الله.
ما شاء الله. وكمان كذلك 3 درجات هذه المنبر. And also the pulpit is 3 steps, proper 3 steps. That's no simple 3 steps. And they got a window there, which is indicating where the qibla. And all of this being supervised under the instruction of Shaykh Al-Albani when he was alive. The masjid of Shaykh Ziyad Al-Abadi حفظك الله ورعاك. وشيخنا اسمح لي شيخنا باسم لأن أنا كنت على فكرة محضر الشيخ زياد في هذا السؤال، فما حبيت إني أنا زي ما تقول أضعك في وضع بحيث أنك تكون مش محضر لهذا الجواب. جزاك الله خيرا وأحسن الله إليك وحفظك الله. طيب